Every time I tell people I'm writing about introversion, they always say something like, I'm an introvert too, but I have extrovert tendencies. People don't believe I'm an introvert. Sound familiar? That's because we've been using the words introvert and extrovert all wrong. Today I'm going to tell you what being an introvert actually means. Not based on behavior, but based on how our brains are wired. We'll talk about introversion, ambiversion, and how to find where you sit on that spectrum. And at the end, in the description below, there's a link to a quiz where you can find out if you're an introvert or extrovert. So here's how most people use these terms. Going to networking events, talking with a lot of people, extrovert. Being quiet, introvert. Charismatically presenting, extrovert. Working alone, avoiding meetings, introvert. Seeking adventure, extrovert. Not partying, introvert. But these are behaviors, not definitions. We've been using these labels to put people in drawers that don't really fit. My mission is to bust that limiting mindset about introversion and show you what it really means to be an introvert based on actual studies. Most of what I'll share today comes from two brilliant books, Quiet by Susan Cain and The Introvert Advantage by Marti Olsen Laney. So what does being an introvert really mean? It comes down to how our brains work, not how we behave. There are three main differences between introverts and extroverts. One, how we refuel. Second, how we respond to stimulation. And third, how we approach knowledge and experiences. Introverts process the world more intensely. We get stimulated faster and more easily. We are more observant, and all of that needs to be processed. Have you ever been in a group of people trying to socialize, but your brain just empties out? That's overstimulation. The noise, the fast-changing topics, the lack of common ground. It's too much input too fast. I've been there. That's one reason why I made the course about networking, to avoid certain events where the acoustics are bad and prepare myself by researching the venue or pre-thinking some conversation topics. We introverts just need more time to process the environment, the people, the ideas, everything. Because of that, our energy drains faster. We need alone time to recharge. Less stimulation, more processing, and yes, a little overthinking too. And here's the third difference. Breadth versus depth. Extroverts love to be everywhere, meet everyone. They're generalists, wide circles, lots of connections. Introverts, we crave depth. We want deep talks with close friends. We love diving into one problem until we solve it. Think of scientists like Albert Einstein. They were deeply focused for long periods of time. No distractions, just pure immersion. And that's an introverted power. The difference in stimulation also shows up at work. Introverts thrive in quiet spaces. I know that from experience, where we can focus deeply. Extroverts thrive in energy, open plan offices, coffee shops, brainstorming sessions. For example, I work in an open office. I'm always aware of what's going on. And actually my boss wants it that way. Because my boss would call me anytime. I usually wear one earbud with a podcast or music just to stay semi-focused on my work. But I'm never 100% productive in that setup. The same thing, or meanwhile, extroverts working from home might struggle. Too quiet, not enough stimulation. They actually need people and noise to stay energized. That's why the time management strategy, like just go to a coffee shop to be more motivated and to work, doesn't work for introverts. It's an extroverted strategy. So here's the key takeaway. Introversion is not about behavior. It's about how the brain works. Introverts can absolutely learn, speak confidently, present charismatically, lead teams, and love adventure. But will always need to recharge afterward. And extroverts, can also learn to listen deeply, observe quietly, focus alone, enjoy stillness. But they will always need connection to refuel. And that's not a flaw, it's just wiring, how your brain works. So now what about ambiversion? Nobody's 100% introverted or extroverted. We're all somewhere on a spectrum. And as we age, we naturally move closer to the center. We become more ambivert. We're finding a balance between quiet and connection. And that's been true for me as well. I'm 30 now, and I can already feel and see the shift. Growing my business, speaking more openly, caring less about what people think. At first, I had to work through shyness. It took me years. But now, every year, and at every Instagram post, that helps me to care less and also express myself more authentically and more self-confident. That's the beauty of aging. Wisdom, confidence, and less people-pleasing. And I know you are there too. So to wrap this up, introversion, extroversion, and ambiversion aren't boxes. They are spectrums. The gray middle in between white and black. And understanding where you are helps you find your natural flow of energy, how you refuel, how you connect, and how you thrive. So take a moment to self-assess. Check out the link in the description and answer questions like, when do you feel more energized? Alone or with people? When do you feel most drained? Alone or with people? And that's your clue. And that's how you figure it out. If you want to go deeper, check out the link below, and with the questions and the answers, you will get an immediate answer. You don't have to subscribe or anything, because I want you to know where you are on the spectrum so that you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and that you know you can learn. You can learn things. You can learn behaviors. And I'm talking about this because being quiet doesn't mean being small. It means being focused, intentional, and powerful in your own way.